following presentation of the Southeastern Conference on ESPN.
Welcome to ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by Experian. They can almost taste the college football playoff here in Oxford. Vaught Hemingway Stadium sold out once again. Number 7 Ole Miss will host a South Carolina team that would love to play spoiler, and here come the Gamecocks. Tremendous atmosphere, as always, here in Oxford. Now, if the Rebels win out, they'll be in the college football playoff. Suffer a loss, and as you could see, they would become a bubble team quickly, and without a ranked opponent left on their schedule to boost their resume, the question would be, were they to lose, could they work their way back to the right side of the number? Who knows? Bob Wischusen, Lewis Riddick, Chris Budden here in Oxford. Always wonderful to come to this town in front of this crowd. And really, when you think about Ole Miss at this point, they might as well already be in playoff mode.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a series of one-game seasons for the next 4 weeks for them. They need to win out. They understand the task at hand, and they need to treat this game as if they had come off the loss just recently and really have that kind of mindset. For South Carolina, it's totally different. They just need to finish a football game against a very high-powered offense in Ole Miss. They had Alabama on the ropes a week ago. See if they can finish tonight.
Lane Kiffin leads the Rebels out. One of the most unlikely stories this season in college football, Lane Kiffin goes to Division II Ferris State in the transfer portal and has found himself a quarterback.
Yeah, all he has done so far is become the quarterback who's number 6 in college football in total QBR. He's number 3 in QBR against the blitz, and he's number 1 in QBR against pressure. Nothing phases this young man. He's one of the most dangerous dual-threat quarterbacks in all of college football. You'll see that early and often here tonight. He understands what the task is. And for South Carolina, it's about Lenoris Sellers. It's about letting him go and letting him play tonight. Like, he has been under duress unmercifully all season long with all the different changes along the offensive line. They changed their offensive line two weeks ago in terms of their coach. Tonight, you will see him take control of this football game if South Carolina's going to have a chance to win.
It is college football prime time here in Oxford. We'll kick it off in just a moment. Welcome back to Oxford. You're watching the SEC on ESPN. Ole Miss won the toss. They want the football. Chris Budden is with us, and Chris, Lane Kiffin feeling the pressure, but pressure is a privilege.
Everything that Ole Miss wants is still in front of them in terms of the playoffs, but how do you avoid an upset along the way? Lane Kiffin's message to his team this week was, I want you to come and prepare as if we were just coming off a loss. That's when he thinks he has the best preparation from his team, and he's right. Since 2023, they're 6-0 when coming off of his loss. He said, I want you to go out there and like you've got something to prove. This isn't just about doing your job anymore.
The way last season ended, they feel like they've got something to prove this year.
They absolutely do. And look, when I asked Lane about this offense in particular, what has been lighting it up, he said it's the most balanced, explosive team he's had since he's been here in Oxford. We'll see soon.
And as you would expect, the strength of this team is offense. They won the toss. They didn't defer. They want the ball in the hands of Trinidad Chambliss to start.
Yeah, this is a young man who is just taking college football by storm. He's a great story. They didn't promise him anything when he transferred here from Ferris State, and he really wound up just wowing them that second week of training camp. They knew that they may have something special. Austin Simmons gets hurt. Trinidad Chambliss goes in, and they never look back. He has just been on fire.
As you saw earlier, since week 3 of this season, no player has totaled more yards total offense than Trinidad Chambliss in all of FBS. Daquan Wright in motion, one of his favorite targets. Swing pass instead to Kewan Lacey, who is a true bell cow workout horse running back, but he gets turned back by J.R. Johnson and Brian Thomas near the line of scrimmage.
The short passing game is something that they really feature here as far as Trinidad Chambliss is concerned. They have a lot of catch and run ability with these wide receivers and the running back in Kewan Lacey.
Chambliss, quick hitter to the outside, Dejon Stribling, and that sailed past his head. Brandon Cisse was all over Stribling, so 2 snaps and it's 3rd down and 10.
Do not count out this South Carolina football team. We know that they have struggled, but defensively, they are fundamentally very sound. Brandon Cisse, their best cover guy by far in the back end on the corner. That was a great read on that 3-step drop.
And they'll bring a 3rd down blitz. Chambliss out of the pocket, back shoulder down the sideline, way short of Caden Lee. So a 3 and out, forced by the South Carolina defense to start.
That's exactly how you want to start if you're Clayton White, the defensive coordinator for South Carolina, against this high-powered offense. They brought 6. They played man-to-man across the board in the back end. Chambliss may have missed an opportunity for a big shot there to Trey Wallace. But they get off the field here now on that 3rd down, and now Bakari Swain on the field to return the punt. He is dynamic.
Oscar Bird's going to fake it. The true freshman down the sideline. He's a 24-year-old true freshman. He looked like an Australian rules football player there. Why not scoop it up and run with it for 18 yards as Lane Kiffin rolls the dice on special teams, and it pays off.
This is just a great read on the part and great scouting. Watch the front line. Watch right here. You have no contain, and all he does is read this out. All the punter does is take a look at the front line and sees that there is no one in a contained type of position. And he just says, hey, I'm just going to take off a run. You can see Lane Kiffin with his hands up in the air like, hey, we got him. That's just great scouting on the part of Ole Miss.
Again, Oscar Bird played 3 seasons of Australian rules football. Kewan Lacey dragging tacklers to the 40-yard line of South Carolina. DQ Smith and Sean Murphy weren't able to bring him down until Kewan Lacey picked up 17.
And you just see the quick feet of Kewan Lacey, the lower body power once he does enter into contact. These sudden change situations, South Carolina's defense has had some success in trying to, calm offenses down when they get put in these situations, see if they can rise to the occasion here.
Chambliss almost intercepted on the carom. It went over the head of Winston Watkins, and a chance for Judge Collier along the sideline. He almost picked it off.
Just a double move. You see Judge Collier there. The ball got on him fast. Tries to make another attempt at it. See Trinidad looking over to the sideline after the initial clap, seeing what the coverage rotation is going to look like, see if they can get into the ideal play.
Lacey picks up 4.5. So another third down coming here for Ole Miss. As South Carolina got a stop on the other end of the field, but the fake punt keeps the drive alive. A chance for a third down stop here.
Clayton White dialed up the pressure, and last time playing man-to-man across the board. Looks like right now they're declaring already. Need some more man coverage.
Quarterback right. Chambliss dragged down. Couldn't escape Fred Johnson. J.R. Johnson brings him down near the line of scrimmage, and now, Lewis, you're in that gray area. It's 4th down at about 5, and it looks like Ole Miss will go for it.
It's a great job by South Carolina, by Fred Johnson, not letting Trinidad get out of there. And here they are, Lane being aggressive here early in plus territory.
They are 8 for 11 going for it this season. They're always aggressive, it seems. Chambliss. Incomplete. Tried to find the freshman Winston Watkins again, cutting inside. Jalen Kilgore said no. And so the second time on this drive, the defense for South Carolina gets a stop. This time, it's a 4th down turnover on downs.
The ball just a little bit late and a little bit behind to Winston Wallace. That's a nice start by this South Carolina defense.
For the South Carolina offense this season, they are the only team in FBS that has failed to reach 350 total yards in a game this season. Having said that, they have one of the threats, Lewis, at quarterback in Linares Sellers. He's a home run hitter, waiting to hit a home run.
He sure is, and they got to turn him loose tonight. They got to let him go. They cannot keep him contained in the pocket. He's got to have a big game.
And he'll throw. And he's going to take a shot on his first play. Looking for Nick Harbor, underthrown. The adjustment, and it's incomplete. Chris Graves Jr. got back and recovered defensively, but it was almost a jump ball, big play to Harbor.
He's got to come up with this one. You're going to see it here. Nick Harbor, just world-class speed. He's going to take off and run as fast as he can. You're going to see it here at the end. He has the ball right in his hands. It hit him right in the hands, and it went through. You've got to come down with that if you're Nick Harbor. You've got to pull that in, especially on the road against a team as good as Ole Miss.
Jet sweep, Matt Fuller across the 40-yard line. So Lenoris Sellers, only 6 touchdowns through the air, only 2 touchdowns on the ground. We saw him throw one and run for one on opening day, so we expected these numbers to be a lot higher than this by the time you get this deep in the season.
No question. And look, he has to play better. He knows that there's part of this that is his responsibility as far as this offense is concerned, but they must protect him better. And the big-time players on the outside like Nick Harbor have to come down with big shot plays like they took on the first snap.
Incomplete at the feet of Brady Hunt. So it's a 3-and-out for South Carolina to open offensively, and the same story continues.
Yeah, there's the fine line between success and failure. You have a big shot play on the first play with one of your most explosive playmakers. It hits him right in the hands and he drops it. And now you're behind the chains immediately. And this offense can't afford to play that way. Every shot has to count when you're on the road against an opponent like this.
Mason Love, a redshirt freshman. And a nice spiraling kick. Trey Wallace drops the ball. Could be a huge break for the Gamecocks. And it is. They've got the takeaway on special teams. Trey Wallace looked to be a routine fair catch, but he just muffed it.
You've just got to finish the catch. You just got to get in position, get yourself square, and keep your elbows together. He never looks it in. His eyes obviously probably came down on the coverage team just for a second. You could see it right there. He never saw the ball even go into his hands. And that's usually how you wind up turning the football over in punt return type situations. Now, if you're South Carolina, you must capitalize. If you're Ole Miss, it's sudden change, man. You got to fight your guts out to hold them to at least 3.
They go empty in the red zone. Straight quarterback run for Lenoris Sellers. Powers his way inside the 10. Xavier Harris made the stop. This is only the 18th time this season that South Carolina has been in the red zone on offense. You can see all the way at the bottom of FBS in terms of opportunities even to score.
But this is where number 16 has to take over. You cannot allow him to not be a factor. Change the launch points, get him out on the perimeter, because his running ability is second to none.
Shovel pass, Faison. Inside the 5, it's 1st and goal. Rasul Faison, who joined this team just before the season started. Transferred from Utah State, wasn't sure he would be eligible until the week of the opener.
See, the offensive line did a nice job capturing the line of scrimmage there. This offensive line has been just under fire all season long. Multiple different starting combinations. They fired the offensive line coach 2 weeks ago. Sean Elliott, the tight ends coach, takes over. They played better last week. They're going to need to play even better tonight.
Faison moves the pile, not to the goal line, to the one only. Driven back. Wydett Williams hit him first. 2nd down and goal at the 1.
You're not going to be able to run the football in the interior against this defensive line where Will Eccles and Xavier Harris live. If you see Shane Beamer walking the sideline, you're going to have to make this a perimeter game against this team. See if you can get your guys out on the edges and get Lenoris Sellers outside the pocket.
Lenoris Sellers with a couple of tight ends that might be paving the way. Quarterback run, tries to do it himself, gets a push. Touchdown! South Carolina strikes. After the gift from Trey Wallace, the muff punt gives them the short field, and the Gamecocks have the early lead.
Just a nice job by Lenoris Sellers, just using that big body, getting his pads down, running with authority, and just not being denied, getting that ball over the goal line. That's what they're going to need from him tonight if they're going to win this football game. He has to take full control.
Since they beat Virginia Tech in their Labor Day weekend opener, that is only the second rushing touchdown for Lenora Sellers since then. Through the arms of Trey Wallace, into the red zone for South Carolina, and into the end zone for Lenora Sellers. South Carolina with the early lead.
ESPN College Football is presented by Experian, your big financial friend, a BFF for life. When you're tackling life's big financial moments, it's good to have a big financial friend on your team. Ready to take control of your finances? Download the Experian app now.
Let's get right to Louis Riddick's keys to victory.
Yeah, for Ole Miss, neutralize Dylan Stewart and Brian Thomas, the fantastic defensive ends that are going to pressure the quarterback. Defensively, limit yards after contact and yards after the catch. They got to tackle. Offensively, spread the field and let Lenora Sellers cook. You saw that in their series right there after they got the fumble punt. That's what they got to let him get going. And then defensively for Ole Miss, communication, no coverage bust. That's been something that's plagued them all season long. They got to have an answer for it here tonight.
Lenora Sellers cooking early with a touchdown run as Logan Diggs on the return here for Ole Miss. Gets to the sideline. Flag down. Logan Diggs to midfield and delivers punishment on his way out of bounds. Have to check the marker out near midfield. 42-yard return if it stands.
Sideline warning, South Carolina.
And it will stand. So great field position for Trinidad Chambliss. And he is piling up historic numbers. In the last 30 years of SEC quarterbacking, only 2 other quarterbacks have been on his level with 300 yards passing and 50 yards rushing in this many games. And they both won the Heisman. Jaden Daniels, Johnny Manziel. Jaden Daniels, the only player that's had more games like that.
That's a pretty startling graphic right there. It kind of jumps right off the page at you. You don't even really have to say anything. He is in rare company right now. And now he's going to have to get it going himself. He's going to have to start cooking himself, throwing the football with a little bit more accuracy and starting to lead this offense and stacking together some first downs.
High snap, pulled down. Ewan Lacey bouncing it to the outside. Nice cut. Boy, it is tough for the first guy to bring him down as well. Forward progress for 7 yards. Justin Okoronkwo and DQ Smith combine on the tackle.
For South Carolina, you got to keep this running game bottled up because Ewan Lacey is an absolute stud. You got to be strong on the perimeter with your force principles and make sure no missed tackles, no yardage after contact. That's what Ole Miss lives for.
Lacey again, swapped under behind the line. Justin Okoronkwo makes another tackle.
You just see defensive coordinator Clayton White just firing his linebackers, both Okoronkwo and Fred Johnson on that play, just attacking the line of scrimmage immediately in the called run blitz, just trying to keep the pressure on this Ole Miss offensive line.
Okoronkwo is a great story. And now Chambliss up the middle. Quarterback run. And he picks up a couple. Nick Barrett. Gabriel Brownlow-Dindy sandwich him. 4th down. They failed to pick it up on the opening drive after faking a punt, turned it over on downs. And Lane Kiffin, always aggressive, wants his team to go for it again.
Just bringing in some extra tight ends. Trace Bruckler into the game. They got 12 personnel, 2 tight ends, 2 wides.
Trick play. The end around. It might be an option pass. Instead, Deuce Alexander does it himself down the sideline. It looked at first like he wanted to throw it, and then saw plenty of green grass. He scampers for 22.
Oh, there's no question that he had a run-pass option here as you see him looking out to Deshaun Stribling. He had the tight end Daquan Wright also maybe as a secondary option. There's just no force and no contain on the edge. He decides to pick it up himself. Deuce Alexander, he has got wheels, man. They've got guys on the outside that can absolutely rip you with the ball in their hands. You saw an example of it right there.
Play clock winding down. It's at 2. They get the snap off. Quarterback keeper for Chambliss. And he's met by DQ Smith. Picked up a couple of yards.
You see the stress that this offense puts on you. It makes you defend every blade of grass because of Trinidad's ability to pull the football and run on the perimeter. Puts a lot of stress on the safeties. The people who are the alley players, force and contain players, have to be great with their eyes.
Slam, off play action, 1st down. Into the red zone to Deuce Alexander.
Just a laser from Trinidad, put it right on the money to Alexander. Quick inside release and running the slant. They really feature the short passing game. They are deadly with it.
Another play action fake. Simple little flip to Stribling at the pylon. Is he in? They'll mark him out, it looks like, at the 1. 1st and goal, Ole Miss. DQ Smith saved the touchdown.
You see Stribling just coming down the side. The right foot right there hits the out-of-bounds line. But even when you're in zone coverage, you have to play with great eyes. Things happen so fast with this team, especially down here inside the 5.
Lacey. He lost a yard. Brownlow-Dindy again behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd down and goal. Flag down in the near side of the field.
That is just great defensive line play.
Illegal formation, offense. 5 or more players in the backfield. It's a 5-yard penalty. Still 1st down.
It looked like Deshaun Stribling was arguing his case. He may have been the guilty party, and that changes things. As now it's outside the 5, back to the 6-yard line. But Ole Miss does get the down back, still 1st and goal. Look over with 5 on the timer. Seat bounces. He tried a jump cut at the 5-yard line that did not fool DQ Smith. So it will be 2nd down and goal after a gain of 2.
That's the kind of eyes that I'm talking about as far as the different kinds of ball handling that they have in the backfield here offensively that South Carolina's defense is going to need to have. Play with square shoulders, make sure that you're playing your assignments, and then come screaming downhill. As you see here, the red zone offense for Ole Miss, 43 drives, 28 touchdowns. They are very creative down here. Lane Kiffin takes a special interest in this area of the field.
Chambliss off play action again, out of the pocket. To the 10, whips one, front right corner of the end zone, incomplete. Trace Bruckler caught a big one last week in the win against Oklahoma, but this time he couldn't secure it. Now it's 3rd down and goal.
Lane obviously was expecting him and Charlie Weiss Jr. expecting some man coverage, and they had some crossers, had like a mesh concept. You can see here at the very end, Bruckler just lets that ball get through into his midsection and then hit the ground. That's a nice throw. He puts it right in the pocket. Got to come up with that one. Tough catch. Got to come up with it.
Play clock at 5 and everyone in motion. Lane Kiffin has to call timeout. A very late shift for the Rebels.
Timeout. Ole Miss.
And they were not going to have time to get set without taking a delay of game penalty. Huge college sports night on Tuesday on ESPN and the ESPN app for the first time. The Armed Forces Classic features women's teams. UConn squares off against Louisville at 5:30 Eastern. Then we'll have the first exclusive reveal of the college football playoff top 25 rankings of the season. And then back to basketball. The men's basketball Dick Vitale Invitational, Texas taking on Duke. Bob Wischusen, Louis Riddick, Chris Button. Big 3rd and goal here. Louis, this cat and mouse game interesting between the two coordinators.
It absolutely is. Keep your eye on Kewan Lacey here now. This is a guy who's been productive for them down inside the 5. With the ball in his hands, it usually leads to success for Ole Miss in terms of converting touchdowns.
Lacey took a peek over to Lane Kiffin on the sideline. Chambliss straight back to throw. Back in the end zone. Dangerous throw, almost intercepted. Daquan Wright was the intended receiver. Peyton Williams was back there. Brandon Cisse as well. And there was a chance that one could have been picked.
Yeah, the spacing just wasn't good on this route combination. You're going to see the tight end Daquan Wright, and you're going to see Deshaun Stripling wind up right on top of one another. That's just not how the route distribution is supposed to look down here inside the 5-yard line. It's just easier for defenders. You can take one guy and cover 2 guys. I'm surprised they didn't get the ball in the hands of Kewan Lacey at all there. But that's a nice job by South Carolina of holding the line and forcing them to attempt a field goal.
Leading scorer in the SEC is Lucas Carnero. And this, a chip shot that gets Ole Miss on the board. You know, a team that's barely gotten in the red zone all season, only 18 total trips. They've got the lead. A team that spends a lot of time in the red zone has to settle for 3.
Yeah, just watch these 2 receivers and just watch where they end up. They're basically on top of one another. The distribution just doesn't add up, and you can see Daquan Wright. He's forced outside. He's not allowed to get into the middle of the field. So that's a nice job by the linebackers, by the second-level defenders, of forcing him wide and basically pushing him right into the path of Deshaun Stripling. That's this smart defensive play on the part of South Carolina. As you can see, Lane Kiffin sitting there thinking about that call and about how it worked out. But for Shane Beamer and his defense, that's about as good as you can play it when you're under the gun like that. And a team as dangerous as Ole Miss is in scoring position.
Shane Beamer's defense, special teams, gave up a possession to start the game, but they got a stop on downs. Now they get a red zone stop against a very good offense, so it's a pretty good start for the Gamecocks defense on the road. And it was a special teams mistake by Trey Wallace. A muffed punt that gave South Carolina an early red zone look, and they converted. It'll be a touchback on the kickoff. Now a quick word from Verbo.
As your host, I have some rules. First, no showers longer than 5 minutes. This isn't a spa. That's the rule.
Meanwhile, at a Verbo, get the vacation you expect and never a hovering host.
So back to the offense for South Carolina. And Chris, it's been a carousel on the offensive line for the Gamecocks.
It has, even as their new coach, Sean Elliott, getting into the offensive line, even after that scoring drive. A very detailed time, one-on-one with each of them, trying to go through things that they need to work on, not letting them rest on their laurels.
And Linares Sellers doing it himself. And eventually he finds the check down, and it's Jordan Dingle.
And there you see, that's how you let Linares cook. You let him reverse pivot out of here and get out on the perimeter where he's one-on-one against Cam Franklin, the defensive end. Linares Sellers is going to win that every single time. Change the launch points. Let him just play some form of backyard football and just make some things happen.
Swing pass to Fuller. And he is lassoed down at midfield. Andrew Jones made the tackle.
Andrew Jones, a fantastic athlete for this Ole Miss defense. Defensive coordinator Pete Golding told us he's going to play a pivotal role. He's maybe the best athlete of the linebacker group, that he's starting to come into his own. They needed a big performance out of him. They need better performance out of that linebacker group on the second level.
3-man rush, and up the seam, incomplete for Andrevius Jacobs.
This is the kind of throw that Linares just has to make. He has got to be able to hit Brian Rowe Jr. on that crossing route when he's got time in the pocket and he can negotiate and kind of get his feet set and step into the throw. Now here you got a big third down again. What do they try to do? What does offensive coordinator Mike Schuler try to do? Does he let him sit in the pocket? Do you put him on the perimeter?
Play clock at 5. Third down from midfield. Oscar Attaway short by a yard. Will Eccles made the stop. So now the first 4th down decision for Shane Beamer. And it looks like he's going to leave his group on the field. They're going to go for it.
I think with that call, obviously, Bob, wouldn't you say, I mean, they're thinking this is a 2-down situation. They were going for it all along. Why else would you run the football on 3rd and 5? Just 12 of 22 on 4th down conversion so far this year.
Attaway and Fuller both in the backfield with Sellers. They're going to try and get it on the perimeter, and they won't even come close. You mentioned Andrew Jones and the athleticism. Sideline to sideline speed for the takeaway on downs.
I mean, just watch him. He is shot out of an absolute cannon. 44 just taken off. I mean, it's just a foot race. Just navigate your way through traffic and then just finish the play. That is fantastic. That's exactly what defensive coordinator Pete Golding said he needed out of this young man to transfer from Grambling. He needed him to show up and show up in a big-time way. That's a big-time stop.
So Trinidad Chambliss with great field position at midfield again. Play action. He's going to take a shot for Deuce Alexander. And he's got it. First and goal, Ole Miss. He beat Bakari Swain.
He just got the inside release, and it was just a foot race, and Deuce Alexander can absolutely fly. There was no safety in the middle of the field. All Trinidad had to do was lay it up for him. That's just a breakdown in coverage on the part of South Carolina that Ole Miss just exploited.
A rollout for Chambliss. Eyeing the end zone across his body, and he's got Daquan Wright for an Ole Miss touchdown.
That's just so good by Trinidad Chambliss. He knew where Daquan Wright was the entire time. Daquan just kind of ad-libbed. He's just blocking initially and then just leaks out into the flat. Trinidad surveying the field. He saw where he was the entire time. This young man just playing such high-level football, especially when he gets on the perimeter.
In terms of explosives, plays of 30 yards or more, no team in America has more plays like that than Ole Miss, and it set up the touchdown.
Just watch Daquan Wright right here. He's just securing the edge initially. He's just going to sit here and just going to sit, and then he's just going to leak out and just try and find a lane to just kind of settle in against this zone coverage and get friendly for the quarterback and give him an option, give him an outlet if he can't hit his primaries. As you see, he's just surveying the end zone, doesn't see anyone, and Daquan Wright makes himself available, and he's able to get it to him. That is just great execution. You see Daquan Wright going up for the dunk. You just love the kind of atmosphere that they've created here under Lane Kiffin as far as how this team just has fun and enjoys playing for him. They just never seem tight. They always seem like they believe that they're in it no matter what. And this place is starting to rock now.
It'll be a touchback through the back of the end zone on the kickoff. Let's check in with Matt Barry. What will the Egg Bowl mean this year? You got to wait a few weeks and see what Ole Miss does between now and then. But it could be a win in their in scenario for the Rebels. They've got business to do between now and then. And they're in a close one here in the first quarter. As the score phase on. Bounces it outside. Brought down. Sage Ryan and Chris Graves were out on the edge.
Play's just too slow developing. They did a nice job, Ole Miss's defense, of stringing that out so they can chase it down inside out. You're going to try and get out on the perimeter. Matt Fuller has a lot of explosiveness as well. The redshirt freshman, who we've seen rip off some big runs for this South Carolina Gamecock offense. But that guy on your screen, 16, you've got to get him out on the edges and let him go.
Swing pass, and it'll be another third down. Jordan Dingle. Form tackle from Chris Graves Jr. Third down and about 3 at the 32-yard line for South Carolina on what might be the final play of the quarter.
The Ole Miss is bringing in some more speed on the defensive line. Centurion Perkins comes into the game, one of their better edge rushers. Prince Will Monmielen on the other side, number 1. They've got their thoroughbreds in there. Got to make sure they keep number 16 in the pocket.
Lenora Sellers from the pocket. Pitch and catch, first down. Ryan Rowe Jr. Incomplete.
It was a complete pass. I think they blew the play dead.
Interesting.
Timeout. Ole Miss. Their second of the half.
Ole Miss got a timeout called.
30 seconds.
Boy, Shane Beamer frustrated with that, as it looked like it was an easy pitch and catch first down. But the timeout granted before the snap.
You could see Lane Kiffin running down the sideline. I think he was trying to get a timeout called. You can see Lane off to the left of the screen. You see him running up the sideline, but this play was almost over before they declared that they had signaled for a timeout.
Jerry McGinn is our officiating expert. And Jerry, how about the granting of the timeout there?
Yeah, it's really good mechanics. The field judge on the other side of the field sees the head coach of Ole Miss trying to get a timeout. He's the one that stops it. Really good heads up by his part. Really good. Because the short wing on Ole Miss's side cannot see the coach. He's too focused on the line of scrimmage.
And so South Carolina has to try again on third down. Lenora Sellers again from the pocket. He's going to get to the sideline. He's going to run for it, and he'll get it. Lenora Sellers with the first third down conversion of the game for either team to end the first quarter. Ole Miss, though, by a field goal after 1.
Football Primetime presented by Experian. Joined now with Shane Beamer. Seeing how aggressive Lane Kiffin has been in play calling, how does that change your approach to the next 3 quarters?
It doesn't. I mean, that's who he is. We were going to be aggressive coming in here. We went forward on 4th and 1. You know, I think the story of the first quarter, we got to make plays. I mean, we're playing really aggressively on defense with our calls, 0 blitzing them some. Their guy made a play on the deep ball. We got to make plays, and that's what this game's going to be. I mean, it's two really good teams that are playing aggressively, and both teams are going to continue to be on the attack.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
He's right. There's been aggression shown both ways. A swing pass out on the edge to Brian Rowe Jr. I like Lenora Sellers, the mix, Lewis, in the pocket, out of the pocket, play calling wise, creativity wise. How's it been, and where do you think it needs to get to for South Carolina?
Well, I think they need to continue to threaten the edges, both with Lenora Sellers and with some of their playmakers that they have. You just saw Brian Rowe Jr. Had he not got tripped up, that was a house call right there. They got to continue to play this game on the perimeter, stay away from the strength of the Ole Miss defensive line, which is inside where they have a lot of size.
Faison finds an alley and picks up the first down to midfield.
And Bob, as we were talking in the break, some of it is by design. Some of it, Lenora Sellers has said, look, I'm just going to take it in my own hands, and I'm going to get out of here, and I'm going to use my size and my speed on the perimeter. That's where they're going to win this game or not. Playing it in space, spreading things out, and making this Ole Miss defense tackle them in space and prove that they can get them on the ground.
Lenora Sellers coming into tonight, the 2nd most sacked quarterback in college football. And he's not easy to sack.
Not at all.
So you can imagine how often he's under pressure. Here he is from the pocket, and he finds a wide open receiver, but Jacobs couldn't catch up to that throw. And Vandrevius Jacobs is running all alone, and Lenora Sellers couldn't put it on him.
He just has to hit this throw. It's wide open, off of play action. Jacobs just running across the field. He has just got to layer that ball in there and have an easy completion. That's just simply on him.
He knows it.
And he knows it.
Yep, no doubt. So 2nd and 10 after what could have been a big play. They'll run it with Faison. And he won't get more than a yard. Cam Franklin buried him at midfield. So now, instead of a wide receiver running free in the secondary, a couple of plays ago, you're forced to face 3rd down and 9.
You see how close it is in terms of the difference between success and failure. Brian Rowe Jr. almost broke free for a long touchdown run after the catch, and then they miss Jacobs on the over route, and now you're sitting here behind the sticks on 3rd and 10.
Time on the play clock. It looks like Sellers adjusting the protection. Will Ole Miss bring the blitz? They will not. Lenora Sellers pursued from behind. Tripped up. There he goes. Prince Will Umanmielen, wearing his brother's old number 1. Princely's in the NFL, and Prince Will looking just like him here at Ole Miss.
That's the speed we're talking about. You saw him do this a week ago at Oklahoma, where he and Will Eccles combined for a safety in the end zone. You're going to see the speed now. He's just going to take off and use that long 6'5" frame to get down one of the most dangerous people in all of college football. That's what he does best. Run that arc and chase down quarterbacks. Pete Golding has to be happy.
4.5 sacks now on the season for Umanmielen. And this time, a secure catch for Trey Wallace. Ole Miss with the lead and the football. course, Ole Miss got the win last week against Oklahoma. Oklahoma trying to bounce back at Tennessee. Ole Miss trying to win at home and win out if they can. No ranked teams left for the Rebels in their final 4 games. So were they to lose, they don't have that resume building opportunity to get a big win to come back unless they miraculously found themselves in the SEC championship game. But if you're in the SEC championship game, you're in the college football playoff, whether you win or lose, as Kewan Lacey picks up about 7.
We always talk about third down. Really, it's first down that's the most important down. It's not when you're sitting here in a 2nd and 3 type of situation. And you're Lane Kiffin and you're Charlie Weiss Jr., the offensive coordinator for Ole Miss. You're in a sweet spot. Now you're in a position where you can maybe take a shot over the top.
Instead, they keep it on the ground for a first down.
Or just run Kewan Lacey and pick up the first down.
Easy enough.
I mean, he is this young man, the best blocking back that I've seen on tape so far this year. He will stone you in pass protection. I was around Clinton Portis back in my Washington days in the NFL as a scout, and he was the most deadly pass blocker I'd ever seen until I saw this young man in college. He will put you on the ground.
And yards after contact here as well, 6 more. Charlie Weiss told us that they knew Kewan Lacey would be elusive, would be a good third down back. I don't think they ever imagined, he said, that he would be this good as a true bell cow running back. They're giving him the ball more than any team in America. He's #1 in FBS in attempts. And there he goes again. Breaks the tackle. Makes another man miss. Kewan Lacey down the sideline to the 41-yard line of South Carolina. Finally, DQ Smith made the stop.
Just look at the feet. Look at the feet as he navigates on the 2nd level. Look at that jump cut. Boom, gone. Right here. Boom, again. If you do not square up on him, he is out the gate. And he's a guy who's kind of high cut, high-waisted, but he's strong in his lower body, has really quick feet, can change direction, stop and start on a dime. He's everything that they are looking for in a running back, which is something that plagued this offense a year ago.
And he gets a rare rest now. Logan Diggs in a tailback. 29-yard run with 3 broken tackles for Kewan Lacey. Quarterback run here for Chambliss. And he's tripped up. Dives ahead for 4.5. Desmond Umazulu got him around the ankles and limited that game.
If you're South Carolina right now for the defense, you don't want to go down 2 scores here early on. You got to find a way to see if you can at least hold them to a field goal attempt. Got to zero in on this run game right now, which is starting to gash them some. Get them to a 3rd and long type of situation.
Right in motion. Play action. Blitz coming. Chambliss escapes the pocket, but only for 2 yards. Monkel Goodwine was able to backtrack and make sure that Chambliss didn't get loose.
That's a nice job of rushing with some lane integrity. They rushed 5 and they had a spy with Okoronkwo, the linebacker, keeping his eyes on Chambliss. Now you got to think this is probably 2-down territory. You're going to have to defend. Probably a 4th down play as well. Just got to lock in.
They run it with Logan Diggs. He's wrapped up by Goodwine after a gain of 1.5 yards. So 4th down, and Lewis at least 2, if not a full 3 yards.
That's a fantastic play by Monkel Goodwine. Him and Nick Barrett have been playing as good as you can possibly ask defensive tackles to play for South Carolina over the past 2 weeks. But as we predicted, this is going to be a 2-down situation here now in 4th and short, 4th and 3. Got to keep eyes on the quarterback.
They'll try to throw for it. Over the middle, bobbled, held on to Trey Wallace. He's got it. Into the red zone, a 4th down conversion, a gain of 21.
Just look at this pocket they provide Trinidad Chambliss with. And when they give him time like this and he can hit these deep in cuts, you watch the tape. He threads those things like the great Kurt Warner used to back in St. Louis when he was hitting Isaac Bruce and Torrey Holt. He throws it with such anticipation and he's so smooth with it. The kid's got a ton of skills.
Back in for Lacey. He He is spun down. Okoronkwo makes another stop. We spoke with Okoronkwo this week. It was like talking to Arnold Schwarzenegger. It was so much fun. I mean, he grew up in Munich, Germany. He learned how to play football at the club level. Played for about 5 years now. Went to Alabama after getting noticed at American football camps, trying to get a scholarship. And now here he is, right in the heart of this Gamecocks defense. Chambliss to the 10. Chambliss inside the pylon. It's another Ole Miss touchdown.
This is just a nice execution of a pin and pull situation. You're going to get the pin, you're going to get the pull by Diego Pounds, and they capture the edge immediately. And they got Keywan Lacey just leading it around as well. Lane Kiffin knew that this was a touchdown as soon as the ball declared. He was running down the sidelines with his hands up in the air. That's just great scheming on the part of Ole Miss and their offensive coaching staff, and great execution.
10-play touchdown drive, 9 runs, and Chambliss caps it.
Trinidad Chambliss just going to work both on the ground and through the air. Just running the green grass. Ole Miss in control.
A win, I mean a lot. This is an SC road game, hostile environment. It'll be a statement to our team. We got to win these next couple games to make a bowl game.
I expect it to be real fun. 2 good SEC teams going against each other. An opportunity to get better and just battle out.
I would say a lot is at stake. We want to finish the season undefeated and hopefully get a shot in the college football playoff.
We just can't overlook our opponent because at the end of the day, they're coming in here to win and knock us out of what we're trying to do.
Welcome back to the SEC on ESPN. It's now a 2-score lead for Ole Miss as they try to win out, and if they do, they'll be in the college football playoff. They might even host a game. Certainly very much be in that conversation, in great position to make that happen. And Lucas Carnero, number 2 in America in most touchbacks force this year, so normally it's that all night. Well, the touchdown drive a moment ago, our drive recap covered by Geico.
I mean, you just see they really got the running game going. It's Kewan Lacey just showing you the feet, the power. Trinidad Chambliss with this great ball on the dig on 4th down, and then the pin and pull. Diego Pounds just clearing the way, and Trinidad Chambliss showing you his dual threat capabilities. It's a critical drive right here for South Carolina. They have got to start hitting on some of the opportunities that have been there for them. Lenora Sellers has to play better. They have to get this ball in the end zone.
They run the option, pitch it to Matt Fuller, and he gets a yard. Sean Womack in on the stop.
And they have nobody blocking support. Womack's just sitting out there. He's just going, look, no one's going to block me. I'll just come up and make the tackle. That kind of play has got to be blocked better if you're going to get the kind of yardage that you want out of it. And now again, you're behind the sticks again. 2nd and 9 is not where South Carolina wants to be.
Time for Sellers. Launches a jump ball to the sideline into triple coverage, and they'll get the flag. Nick Harbor was surrounded. And he's got a gimpy right foot now as well, as he's limping back to the sideline.
Pass interference, defense, number 16, 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
Wydett Williams called for the foul.
But you're going to see Wydett Williams. He just totally misplays the flight of the football, and that's something that has showed up on tape with him before, when he is a middle-of-the-field player trying to judge the arc of the ball and get himself in position to make some plays. And there he basically bails out the South Carolina offense, because Lenora Sellers just threw up a prayer right there and put the ball in harm's way. Nevertheless, a fresh set of downs.
Azio Bennett circles in motion, and they swing a pass to him. He picks up about 5. Jalen Braxton met him on the sideline. It's like a 4-yard gain, so it will be 2nd and 6 near midfield.
If you're South Carolina now, you got to find a way in order to continue to move this football down the field and keep your defense off the field, because they right now are up against it with the way Ole Miss is executing offensively. Got to be good with your decision making, run precise routes, catch the football when it's thrown to you.
A little crease, great feet. Stumbling, but picking up the 1st down was Fuller. Umanmielen brought him down. But great balance for Matt Fuller as he gets to the 47 of Ole Miss.
He runs with such a nice low center of gravity at 5'11", 220. You see now, Shane Beamer told us, look, we think we're at our best when we use a little bit of tempo and keep our foot on the gas pedal. They're trying to pick it up here.
Lenora Sellers for Jacobs. Incomplete. Just barely overthrew him. He had a step on Chris Graves Jr.
Again, you just got to give him a chance. Keep the ball in bounds. Keep it in play so where your guy can try and win a 50-50 ball type situation. And you see Chris Graves, he's just swiping at the pocket, swiping at the hands of Jacobs. Shane Beamer looking for a pass interference penalty.
Instead, it's 2nd and 10. Lenora Sellers keeps it and pays the price. TJ Dottery wasn't fooled.
Yeah, this time maybe Lenora should have got that ball out of his hands and gotten it to Matt Fuller a little bit quicker. You're going to see here when he's running out here, he maybe read this one wrong. Probably should have got rid of this ball a little bit sooner, like right now, and let Fuller get out on the perimeter. He decides to keep it and try and turn it upfield. Daugherty makes the play. Again, those margins, the margin between success and failure when you're playing high-level football are so slim. Now they're at 3rd and 11.
And they're 119th in the country on 3rd down coming into tonight. Lenora Sellers out of the pocket. It's a check down. Faison. He makes it 4th and manageable. He got most of what they needed. Let's see where they mark him out. Inside the 42-yard line. He picked up at least 6. So Lewis here, 4th down, about 4.5 for Shane Beamer, and they will go for it again.
Yeah, I don't think there was any question. Shane can feel how this game is going right now, especially how the offense for Ole Miss has been moving the football. Now, if you're Mike Sewell, the offensive coordinator, you've got to come up with some of your best stuff. Who are your playmakers? Who are the guys you can count on?
Carver in motion. Hard count for Sellers. Play clock at 1. It goes to 0. Will they call timeout, or will it be a delay of game flag? The flag is out, but I think they got a timeout call.
Offense, 5-yard penalty. Remains 4th down.
He didn't spend one. That was just a hard count, and now they're going to give 5 extra yards to their punt crew. They were just barely inside 4th and 5 to go, so I guess they figured maybe we can get Ole Miss to jump, but they take the 5 yards.
Yeah, he's putting the onus back on defensive coordinator Clayton White and the defense here to see if they can kind of get off the field here without giving up any more points here before halftime comes around. The problem with South Carolina right now is, look, who can you really go to?
Right.
When you're thinking of the whole philosophical mindset of players over plays, well, who are the players? Who are the players you can go to in crunch time right now?
Knuckleball from Mason Love. And it bounces right off the top of the head of one of their players and into the end zone for a touchback. Some bad luck for Gerald Kilgore. Right off the noggin. It's the Taco Bell Live Más student section. Only one student section can claim the title of Live Más student section of the year. Who will take home the trophy this year? The Macho Man maybe, or Buddy, or Batman? Still in their costumes from last night.
I see you, Batman.
That student section started filling up at least 2 hours before kickoff.
Hey, this is a great atmosphere.
It is terrific.
It's a great atmosphere. They know they got a good football team. It makes it all better.
Chambliss. Swing pass to Kewan Lacey. He's a video game. Just keeps on keeping on for 8 yards.
That's something else right there now. That is high-level football. Fred Johnson, who's one of the best athletes on this defense, had him squared up, and he missed him. And about 3 other defenders missed him as well in a phone booth. Kewan Lacey's the truth.
Brownwell Dindy eventually made the tackle, but he was one of the missed tackles and had to recover. Patiently gaining the edge. And he's got the first down. You mentioned the atmosphere here, Lewis. Right now, the biggest story surrounding Lane Kiffin is if he's going to leave because of all of these high-profile firings around college football. And I think the folks at Ole Miss are kind of saying, what about us? Why would he leave? Is it necessarily a better job? Some of those jobs that are available than what he has right here?
Absolutely.
This is great.
It sure is. It sure is. He can get whatever he wants here. He knows exactly how he wants to build his football team. He knows exactly what he needs.
Chambliss finds a crease. You know, talking to him the other day, did the ball pop out? Did Chambliss lose the football? South Carolina thinks they have it. No signal as of yet.
The ruling on the field is the runner was down prior to losing possession.
So he's
this
ruled
is the
down.
2-minute timeout.
And that takes us to the 2-minute timeout, but let's take a look.
Knee is down. Ball.
Was the knee down before the ball started to come loose? They'll have time to look at it during the 2-minute timeout. What games aren't close in this league? Seems like it is chaotic every week, with teams having to escape and win close games in the SEC. 2 minutes to go in the first half. Ole Miss by 10. Another crease for Lacey. And a first down. Jatius Gear made the stop, but it's 6 more yards. Ole Miss with 1 timeout left, but they're used to playing up tempo.
Ole Miss 150 plus rushing yards, 154 as of right now. That's a heck of a first half. That's a game for most teams. You can control the ball on the ground like this. It's just going to open up the passing game eventually.
Chambliss, dangerous throw, and it's intercepted. Jalen Kilgore breaks a tackle, loses his footing. That looked like a predetermined throw for Trinidad Chambliss. And it was an easy interception for Kilgore.
Yeah, you start getting a little greedy and trying to force the ball into coverage. When Kilgore had great depth on the route, you're just going to watch him right here. He's just going to backpedal, keep his eyes on the throw and on the quarterback, and this ball never has a chance. It never has a chance. It's kind of a pseudo double move on the part of Winston Watkins. That's just a bad decision for Trinidad Chambliss, because this ball had no chance of being completed. And now if you're South Carolina, you have to make this count. Now you give your offense another chance out there on the football field. And Trinidad knows that's on him. He's got to protect the football better, and he's protected the football well for them so far this year since he took over as a starter.
Only his 2nd interception. Faison into the heart of the Ole Miss defense for 3. Now South Carolina has their timeouts, but only a minute 20, and now down to a minute 15 on the clock. And remember, they also start the 3rd quarter with the football, so they've got a chance to score twice before Ole Miss sees it again. 3-man rush. Lenora Sellers all day, finds Faison crossing, does not get the first down. Good tackle by TJ Daugherty. So 3rd down and 1, and the clock under a minute.
They've got to push the ball down the field. They got to push it to someone other than just Nick Harbor. They have all these fantastic freshmen who have tremendous downfield speed and ball skills, and Lenoris has got to find them, and he's got to put it on them.
And they huddled. Look at all the time coming off the clock. They've got all their timeouts, 38 seconds to go in the half. Lenora Sellers on the move, sidearms one, misses a wide open receiver with the flag down. Brian Rowe Jr. was all alone, and a penalty marker in the backfield as well.
I think you're going to get a holding.
Holding, offense, number 78. A penalty's declined, 3rd down.
It's now 3rd down and 11.
It is 4th down.
Check that 4th down. Ole Miss declines the penalty.
I mean, that's, look, let's be honest. That is just such a wasted opportunity on the part of South Carolina. That entire series right there seemed to be one where it just wasn't well coached through as far as their urgency, the play calling, running the football into the teeth of the Ole Miss defense. You've got to take advantage of those kind of sudden change situations.
Fair catch by Wallace. So only 25 seconds on the clock and 1 timeout for Ole Miss. But we talked about it at the start, Lewis. Ole Miss is basically feeling like they're in playoff mode now. They know if they win out, they're in, no question. But if they lose tonight, they become a bubble team. And they don't have a ranked opponent left on their schedule to build their resume back up if at some point they get upset.
Yeah, it's a series of 1-game seasons, like it's sudden death every single game for them, and they have to approach it as such. And look, Lane Kiffin talked to us about, and Chris Button mentioned the fact that this is, for them, they had to approach this like they were coming off of a loss in terms of their sense of urgency and desperation. Not playing tight, but just understand what's at stake here in the last quarter of the season.
Dewan Lacey, and that might take us to halftime. Nope, a timeout called by Shane Beamer. He's going to make Ole Miss play.
Timeout, South Carolina. Their first of the half. seconds in length.
South Carolina took the early lead, and they had the short field because of this Wallace muff on a fair catch. Eventually, Lenora Sellers would cap the drive with a touchdown run. But then Ole Miss would answer. Trinidad Chambliss, a little creativity to Daquan Wright. And then he found an alley down the sideline and did it himself.
They have been resourceful and taken advantage of the things that they need to take advantage of. And just look at that yardage disparity. Look at this right here. 267 total yards to 93. And the average gain per play of 17.2 yards, or 7.2 yards rather, excuse me. South Carolina has to find a way to generate some offense.
Lacey again. Now to about the 38-yard line. That'll stop the clock for the moment for Ole Miss. But they may opt to just end the half. Let's see. Lane Kiffin has a timeout. His offense looking over at him. They'll start the clock. Obviously, Shane Beamer's not going to call one at this point, and that'll take us to halftime. So Shane Beamer not happy with how the end of that half played out, as his team had a chance to score before halftime and start the third quarter with the ball, but Lane Kiffin's got a 10-point halftime lead. He's with Chris.
Lane, how would you evaluate the job your defense has done in limiting what Lenore Sellers can do with his legs?
Yeah, I think we've done a good job. You know, we screwed up on the punt early, dropping it, gave him the short field down there and gave him a touchdown. But other than that, our defense has done really good. Our offense is very inconsistent right now, especially early in the red zone. So we got to clean that up, and obviously Trinidad made a really poor throw.
Appreciate the time.
All right, thanks.
So a 2-score lead for the Rebels at the break, 17-7 at home over South Carolina. Time for the halftime report. Standing by with E.J. Manuel, here's Matt Barry. Welcome back to ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by Experian. You're watching the SEC on ESPN. Set for the start of the third quarter, Bob Wischusen, Lewis Riddick, Chris Budden. Ole Miss with a 10-point lead on South Carolina. 277 yards of total offense in the first half for Ole Miss. That's not far off from their per-game average for a half. As we take a look at our playbook, brought to you by Modelo, a great mix through the air and on the ground.
It sure has been. Look, Lane Kiffin and Charlie Weiss Jr., an offensive coordinator, have done a real nice job of dialing it up. Here you just see Trinidad Chambliss just playing with great eyes and great ad-lib ability as he finds Daquan Wright for the touchdown. Here on this 4th and 3, this is just textbook right here as far as hitting this deep in to Trey Wallace, and then the pin and pull. You just see the lead blocking out front of Diego Pounds. Kewan Lacey leading the way, and Trinidad Chambliss just has to follow their blocking and take it in for the score. What Coach Kiffin talked about, he didn't think that the offense was playing with consistency, but man, when they are locked in, they are beautiful to watch. If you're South Carolina here starting off with the ball here in the second half, you have got to have some kind of philosophical approach that makes sense, that puts your players in position to score points. Because that first half left a lot to be desired.
A very confusing end of the first half for South Carolina. And Chris Budden spoke with Shane Beamer.
Yeah, a lot of missed opportunities is what Shane Beamer has said. Missed too many wide open wide receivers that they need to be able to take advantage of. Do better on third down, just 1 for 6. And talking about the end of that half, he even challenged and criticized his coaching staff. He said the way that we finished that 2-minute drive was just terrible efficiency.
Almost wondering what the philosophy was. Right, you run the ball twice, you huddle up, then you're throwing on third down. You're not using your timeouts, taking a minute off the clock. Almost like they were halfway between wanting to put the ball in the freezer and wanting to attack. And now Faison starts off the second half by grinding out 3.5 yards. Cam Franklin made the tackle.
And yet still, Bob, they're still only down 10 points.
Exactly.
And they have had opportunities where they could strike quickly with explosive plays if they were just able to throw and catch it. And Lenora Sellers can put it on the money. So this game is certainly not out of reach for them, but they have got to start executing.
And there were some plays to be made for South Carolina in the first half. Lenora Sellers, straight quarterback run, bouncing it outside. Out to about the 32-yard line. TJ Daugherty made the stop, so it will be 3rd down and 3 after a 4-yard gain.
Lenora Sellers, whenever you call design quarterback run, has to be good for 4 minimum, no matter what. And now sitting in this 3rd and 3 situation, with some of the talent that they have on this offense, you've got to be able to pick this up against a defense that has struggled with its communication and its ability to match up properly in critical situations.
Flags down, false start. It's going to be 3rd down and 8 now.
False start. Offense, number 51. 5-yard penalty. It's still 3rd down.
Only the 2nd Gamecocks penalty, but it backs them up.
Pre-snap penalties. That was something that really precipitated some of the changes to the offense in terms of the coaching staff, in terms of Sean Elliott taking over this offensive line. Too many of those kinds of mistakes that now put them in a 3rd and 8 situation where they were just facing 3rd and 3.
They were 1 for 6 in the first half. Two-man rush. It still gets home. Sellers to the sideline. Is it scooped up? It looked like Brian Rowe Jr. got his arms under the ball. He did. There's a flag down, though, back near the line of scrimmage.
Ineligible players downfield.
Wow.
Offense, number 5. Number 5 was covered up by an outside receiver. That's a 5-yard penalty. It's still 3rd down.
So Jordan Dingle was covered up, so he was ineligible to go downfield.
He's got to be back off the ball. Otherwise, you're making him ineligible, and he went out for a route. That's just attention to detail. You've got to know what the formation calls for. You got to understand what makes you eligible and not eligible. See, these are all the kinds of things that just continue to hurt South Carolina.
And on that last snap as well, Ole Miss basically rushed 2. And Umamielen still put pressure on Lenora Sellers. He launches one for Jacobs. Intercepted. Picked off by Gushikin. A flag down near midfield. This will be pass interference, it looks like, against Ole Miss. That is going to erase the takeaway.
Pass interference, defense, number 13, 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
So Cedric Beavers called for the pass interference penalty. That's a big break for Carolina.
Was on number 9.
Yeah, I was going to say, number 9 is Ricky Fletcher right here. You're going to see him as he starts getting threatened and pushed down the field. He just reaches out and grabs Vendravius Jacobs for no reason. You don't have to do, just open your hips and run. You don't have to put your hands out and grab anyone. He's not threatening you. He's not going to run by you. Just turn and run. I mean, there's just nothing that Lane Kiffin could really do. Like that's just something that's inexcusable on the part of the player. You know better than to do that. You're not getting threatened.
Lenora Sellers, run pass option. He'll choose the run. And he's got 4 yards. Nowhere to throw the ball. Andrew Jones with a good open field tackle.
I mean, there was just nowhere to go with the football. I mean, you're running a sprint out into the boundary, into the short side of the field. It's basically a one-man route. You're not giving him any chance to really do anything or any space to do anything.
On to midfield. Off the football. It pops out. Who's got it? South Carolina maintains possession.
Bob, I think that ball came right back to Faison as he's laying on the ground. It went up in the air and bounced right back to him. Just watch this here. That ball is out. It pops up in the air. Faison looks up and it's like right back in front of him. Wow. He's able to scoop it back up. Man. Now, you're sitting here. You got a fresh set of downs on the plus side of the 50. You got to dial up your cover 2 beater or your single high beater and see if you can strike right now down the field.
Timeout called by Shane Beamer.
Timeout, South Carolina.
And he does not look happy that he had to call that timeout. Someone on the other end of that headset is getting an earful right now. We'll step aside. College football rankings brought to you by Chick-fil-A. There will be another shakeup in the top 10, certainly when the first college football playoff rankings officially come out on Tuesday night. But Georgia Tech at number 8 behind right now. Vanderbilt rallied late and pressed Texas, but they lose in Austin and Miami. They are going to be riding home on the plane wondering how they lost to SMU. And we've got number 7 with a 10-point lead off play action. Linares Sellers taking a shot back in the end zone. Harbor, he's got it for the touchdown. The track star ran right by the Ole Miss secondary. Just what the Gamecocks needed. 47 yards. Nick Harbor was a second-team All-American in track last year, and then decided, you know what, I'm stopping track, I'm concentrating on football. But he ran a 10-1 100, a 20.2 200, and he ran a really fast 47 yards right there.
That's how you dial it up. We just said, plus 50, first down, take a shot, call up your best cover 2 beater, something that will convert also against a middle field close type of coverage scheme, and they had the perfect play call. They got Nick Harbor one-on-one against Whitehead Williams. You're going to see it right here. He's just going to take off. They're going to have a cover 2 look. They're going to occupy this safety right here with this kind of route, and he's one-on-one with the safety. One-on-one with the guy who's trying to close the middle of the field right there. And you're talking about a 10-1 100-meter guy against a safety who kind of gets caught flat-footed. You're not going to win that. Hat tip to Mike Shula. You dialed it up perfectly. Linares put it right on him. Their number 1 big play guy in Nick Harbor. That's how you do it.
And maybe a little stick tap for Shane Beamer too.
No doubt.
Because clearly he was trying to deliver a message to his coaching staff. You saw how frustrated he was when he had to call timeout prior to that play. And then while we were in commercial, that dialogue did not stop. And you know what? It was a one-way dialogue.
Absolutely. It's not a discussion. As Nick Saban would say, somebody's getting chewed out.
And we're drop kicking the football here. Little surprise. Logan Diggs brings it back. Gets to the sideline. And dives out to about the 33-yard line. So again, this is Shane Beamer while we were away. We showed you how frustrated before we went to commercial. This is while we were in commercial.
Look, Shane knows. He knows that despite all their struggles that they have had on the offensive line, that they should be doing better than they are offensively and getting more production out of some of the skilled players that they have, because they got fantastic individual talents, just not playing together well as a team. Now they're right back in.
Chandler swings one. And a tackle for loss. J.R. Johnson came up and met Lacey.
That's a great play by Fred Johnson. One of the ways to get Lacey on the ground is get him going before he sees you and he can get started. Close the gap quickly, wrap him up, and get him on the ground.
So after South Carolina draws within 3, they get a tackle for loss. Chambliss well protected. Delivers a strike to Scribbler. First down. Let's go down to Chris.
When Shane Beamer was frustrated during that timeout, he was coming over. We showed him lighting up to his guys in his microphone. He did make sure after that scoring drive that he went up to Mike Shula, had some pleasant words with him together.
Easier to do after a 47-yard touchdown. Ewan Lacey looking for some room. And the door closes after a 2-yard gain. Monkel Goodwine, another tackle.
We didn't get a chance to say anything about that pass that we got a player down on the field.
That's Patrick Kudus, the starting right guard. As much as we've talked about the carousel on the South Carolina offensive line, this offensive line for Ole Miss has been intact. As we get ready for the first college football playoff rankings release on Tuesday night, here's what the All-State playoff predictor has to say about Ole Miss. Again, if they win tonight, they continue what seems like a march towards the college football playoff. Lose a game, and they will be right on the bubble. And fans, don't forget, you can go to ESPN.com/All-State Playoff Predictor and check out your team's chances of making the college football playoff. Lane Kiffin against teams where he is a double-digit favorite in November, 29-2. Both of those losses, though, coming last year. As a double-digit favorite, 29-2 throughout the season. But they lost last year, especially the painful loss to Florida on the road to end last season, second to last game last year. And they barely missed the college football playoff. They do not want to miss that opportunity this year. But they're in a tussle now with South Carolina. Plenty of time on the play clock. Chambliss gives to Lacey. He's got a yard and a half. Sean Murphy made the tackle. So a third down coming up here for Ole Miss at midfield.
It's good team defense on the part of South Carolina, keeping that run boxed in. Now they got a critical third down situation here. How about Ole Miss? 0 for 5 tonight.
Except they followed that up by going 3 for 4 on fourth down.
Yeah. It's going to get some man coverage.
Blitz coming. Chambliss, clean pocket, reaching out to make the catch is Trey Wallace. So there is their first third down conversion of the night. They pick up 8.
That is just a nasty release by Trey Wallace, making it look like he's going to go upfield and then just snapping it off against Bakari Swain. That is a great route.
Was a timeout called again on the South Carolina sideline?
I think Shane Beamer was able to get that right at the last minute.
They haven't announced the timeout yet, but he's having a discussion with the head linesman. Are they challenging?
South Carolina would like to challenge the previous play. The ruling on the field was a catch. That play is under video review.
So Shane Beamer taking it in his own hands, challenging whether or not Trey Wallace made that third down catch. We'll take a look when we come back. Trey Wallace's catch was upheld by replay while we were away. You'll see him take at least 2 steps, if not 3. So he's got control of the ball and becomes a runner. And then Lewis, he seems very clearly down before the ball even moves, if not comes out. And very quickly while we were away, they said the call on the field was upheld.
Yeah, that's a curious challenge on the part of South Carolina. Again, they got to line up and continue to play here.
So they lose their challenge and, of course, lose a timeout as well. We'll see how that plays. Here's a pitch, an end around. Trey Wallace. He's caught well behind the line of scrimmage. So that trick play, the reverse, went nowhere. That's a loss of 6.
Dylan Stewart saw that coming from a mile away. Stayed home backside and just kind of shut that down immediately.
There was a question as to whether or not he was going to play tonight. Questionable, has a sore hip, fighting through it, and a tackle for loss. Chambliss floats one, incomplete, overthrew Trey Wallace. Now it's going to be 3rd down and 16.
Tried to get Bakari Swain on the double move on the stutter go. He played it pretty well. Safety rolling over the top as well to give him some help. Now for South Carolina, here in this 3rd and 16, this has got to be a get off the field scenario for you. I think they're playing a little split safety look. Play everything top down.
Lucas Carnero is an excellent kicker, so they can get into field goal range without picking up a 1st down. Chambliss out of the pocket. Room to run. Instead fires one. Sideline incomplete. Caden Lee was crossing and may have been the intended receiver. The ball kind of landed in no man's land, and Chambliss may have been able to run into field goal range.
Yeah, he may have. You're going to see him roll out here to his right, and you're going to see Caden Lee. He kind of runs a post out. Looked like he's going to go to the post, and he snaps it off and runs the out. Trinidad not able to get it on him. Deshaun Stribling was standing down there also along the sideline. Just not well executed on the part of Ole Miss. South Carolina set themselves up here now.
Kilgore with a fair catch attempt, and he muffs it. Jalen Kilgore gives Ole Miss the exact same break that they gave South Carolina in the 1st quarter. Andy Chaffee recovers.
So Jalen Kilgore again went right through his arms. Got to keep your elbows together, form a cup and pocket that ball in and just secure it. That's just 2 big mistakes on the part of both teams tonight and their primary punt returners.
It's almost like an instant replay of Trey Wallace, just changed uniforms.
Absolutely.
The only 1st half touchdown that South Carolina scored was that scenario. A muffed punt taking over in the red zone, and now Ole Miss has their chance. Lacey. Nothing on 1st down. Ryan Thomas Jr. I know I'm getting old when I've been calling games for the Jets in New York so long that his dad was a 1st-round draft choice. And I'm still on the job.
He's been playing
from when he was drafted.
He's been playing some really good football opposite Dylan Stewart.
His dad was a really good player too. Ryan Thomas Sr. And there's the offense looking over. Play clock down to 5. Right in motion. And Lacey bobs and weaves for about 1.5 yards. Inside the 12-yard line. Sean Murphy, Nick Barrett combine on the tackle. So now 3rd down and a chance for South Carolina's defense to hold to a field goal here.
That's 2 real good snaps by the South Carolina defensive front. First Brian Thomas, then Nick Barrett, who showed up a lot last week against Alabama. Now looks like they're going to play a little zone coverage. Lane Kiffin just trying to get them in the optimal play. You see him down there just trying to look at the defense. Now it looks like it's going to be a little bit of pressure, maybe man-to-man situation.
All-out blitz, quarterback run. Trinidad Chambers fakes a man miss, but goes down. Okoronkwo stayed home and made the stop.
That's a heck of a play by Justin Okoronkwo, who kind of comes on the blitz initially, and you're going to see him take on the offensive guard, Delano Townsend, and get off the block and make the tackle. He just doesn't give himself up 1-for-1. That is a heck of a play by Justin Okoronkwo.
Again from Munich, Germany, Justin Okoronkwo. His father saw him play for only the second time in the U.S. and the first time as a starter when he was on the field last week. And he makes a big play here, so that's, talk about dealing with sudden change if you're the South Carolina defense. Holding to a field goal there is very well done, as we've got tonight's Aflac trivia question. Now, Lewis, this is a good one. This shows the Lane Kiffin impact. Ole Miss started 8-1 in 2 of the last 4 seasons. Prior to Lane Kiffin arriving in 2020, when was the last time that Ole Miss started a season 8-1? I wrote this answer down. This is a note on my board. I can't participate because it would just be absolutely blatant cheating. But it was a while. Let's put it that way.
Did the Aflac duck tip you off to this? Is that what happened?
No, it's right here. Do you want to cheat? I'll show it to you.
No.
I should have pointed it out and let you read it, and then you would have looked brilliant.
Yeah,
would have been good.
That would have been great teamwork.
Good teamwork.
Wouldn't have been honest. So.
Well, it's just a testament to what Lane Kiffin is building here, and why rumors of his potential departure might not make sense.
Yeah.
Talking to him this week.
He is so fun to talk to, man.
There's definitely a don't mess with happy possibility for him in Oxford, as his team has the 6-point lead. You want to take a quick guess before we answer it?
I have no idea. I know it's obviously it's been a while because.
All right, here we go. The Aflac trivia answer. Ole Miss started 8-1 in 2 of the last 4 seasons. Prior to Lane Kiffin arriving in 2020, the last time Ole Miss started at 8-1, back when Lewis was in college in 1957. No, 1990.
How about my senior year in college, 1990?
Well, you're old.
Yeah, I'm getting up there, man. I'm getting up there, but we're hanging in there.
Lenore Sellers in a 1-score game. Bullets one to the sideline. And squeezes it into Nick Harbor. Close to a first down. Looks like it is enough. That's a gain of 11.
And there's that move the pocket, get him out on the perimeter, let him have some space, some field to work with. Nick Harbor just goes to work, just runs a little comeback route against the corner, and they get a nice pitch and catch and get a first down.
At Fuller. Bulldozes his way for 5. Did he lose the football? Did the ball pop out? Ole Miss thinks they've got a takeaway. And the officials say no.
The runner was down prior to losing possession. 2nd down.
Now South Carolina wants to hustle up to the line before either replay can buzz down or Lane Kiffin can challenge. Lenore Sellers takes the snap, but the play will be stopped. And Lane Kiffin thinks that replay is going to give him the football.
Prior to the snap, replay initiating a review of the previous play.
Well, it looked like the Gamecocks may have snapped the ball just in time to avoid, but now replay gets involved.
You can see here, it's a hit right on the ball.
Is that TJ Banks that leans in?
I think you're going to see that ball starting to squirt out. There, you kind of lose sight of it. I wonder if you'll get a definitive look to see if that ball is coming out.
And that's key because it was ruled down on the field. So because they set that precedent on the field, that Fuller was down, It has to be clear and obvious that he wasn't, that the ball came out.
See, TJ Banks really dislodges that ball with his back.
Do you ever see it come loose, though?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think from this angle you're going to be able to see. There you can't definitively see where the ball. Oh, there it's coming out. I think it's on his side right there.
Okay.
It is tough to get a good look at that.
And Fuller is on top of TJ Banks. He almost has to flip all the way over and have his head hit the field before he's down.
You see the ball laying on the side beside him right there. When was it actually coming out? There, the ball's on the ground.
All right, we need a third opinion. Let's bring Jerry McGinn in, because Jerry, this is a tough one. How many looks do we see here where we're not really sure if we see enough of the football?
You're right, Bob. We don't see enough. In fact, I see the runner's head first touch the ground before we see the ball at all. And with that in mind, and the fact that the on-field officials ruled no fumble, they're going to have to stay with it.
Interesting. I mean, by the time his head hits and he flips over, the ball's on the field.
The ruling on the field is upheld. Second down.
Wow. And to Jerry McGinn's point, Lane Kiffin can't believe it, but they never saw clear and obvious evidence of view of the football coming loose. And that might be South Carolina getting the break of just not having the right angle.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is.
Just bodies all around Matt Fuller and never got a clear and obvious look. So a break for the Gamecocks. And they are late running Faison on the field. And now, because Faison ran on late, Ole Miss has the right to substitute. They run the option. There's the pitch. It's on the ground and picked up by Fuller on a hop. And he avoids a giveaway, loss of 4.
Just flirting with disaster as far as the ball handling here. You see Linares is trying to execute that long pitch. It's almost like Faison got, Matt Fuller got out of phase with him on that speed option type of look. It was a long, dangerous pitch.
That brings up 3rd down and 8. All day to throw for Sellers. Now the pressure arrives. He floats one down the sideline, incomplete for Faison. Just out of his reach.
It's another one of those throws, Bob, where he's got to hit this. You're outside the pocket, you've got clean air, you got to just put that more on a line. As Faison is releasing into the route, he converts, he goes to the corner, he's open. Just put it more on a line and put it on him.
Number 12 for South Carolina is now number 47.
There's Lane Kiffin. A little pat on the back for Linares Sellers, who's some kind of competitor. But offensive frustration continues for South Carolina. Returnable for Wallace. He doesn't get much. Kick off your NFL Sunday with the Countdown Crew at 10 Eastern on ESPN. Before the Chiefs battle the Bills, Alex Smith goes all access with Patrick Mahomes on the art of off-platform throws. And Monday Night Football has the Cowboys hosting the Cardinals. 8 Eastern on ABC, ESPN, ESPN Deportes, the all-new ESPN app. Peyton and Eli once again on ESPN2. How important is that game on Monday night to both of those teams? Well, pretty obvious. We're in must-win territory for the Cardinals if they ever want to work their way back into the playoff conversation.
Yeah, they have a steep hill to climb. The NFC West is really strong. Seattle, LA Rams, San Francisco, they're going to be in it. Dallas, you just don't know if they play good enough defense.
Blitz off the edge. And Lacey picks up a couple of yards. Fred J.R. Johnson in on the tackle. Buddy Mack was coming off the edge to help as well.
As you see the second half starting to shake out, you see the South Carolina defensive line really starting to find its groove. as far as playing with good pad level, leverage, good hand usage, trying to slow down Kewan Lacey, who was a runaway freight train in the first half.
Making a man misses Lacey. He is spun down by Goodwine. So another third down here for Ole Miss.
Both quarterbacks have made some nice throws. Both quarterbacks have missed some open receivers in these third down type of situations where they've had people open. Here Trinidad Chambliss has another opportunity by facing some man-to-man coverage. See if he can locate the open guy.
Rebels 1 for 8 on third down. And now they're 1 for 9. Okoronkwo made the stop. And now flags thrown on the far side of the field. An altercation away from the ball. Dejon Stribling got into it. Looked like Jalen Kilgore involved for South Carolina. And a flag is on the field. This is a very important call. And this is against South Carolina. It's almost like a turnover. They had Trinidad Chambliss stopped.
I think Stribling got Vakari Swain on the ground. Vakari Swain didn't like it.
There are 2 fouls after the play, 1 by each team. After the play, personal foul, offense, number 1. Personal foul, defense, number 4. Both unnecessary roughness fouls. Those penalties offset. It's 4th down.
So Stribling and Swain both get called, and since it's after the play, no harm, no foul.
Right here,
really.
Stribling gets Vakari Swain on the ground, on the block. And then there you see him, he's just trying to hold him on the ground. Vakari Swain doesn't like it, picks Stribling's leg up and puts him on the ground. It's really a nothing play in the end.
Rugby kick from Oscar Bird. And it takes an Ole Miss roll. It looked as if Ole Miss touched it, in which case it doesn't make a difference if South Carolina touches it, fumbles it, whatever. If Ole Miss touches it first, it's going to be South Carolina ball regardless. And it certainly looked like an Ole Miss player touched it somewhere inside the 30-yard line. Now right there.
The 28-yard line. It'll be first down for South Carolina.
So Lenora Sellers. I mean, we are 9 games into the season now, Lewis. And in 9 games, Lenora Sellers has accounted for a total of 9 touchdowns on the year. If he's only accounting for 1 touchdown a game on average,
yeah, your offense isn't going to be as efficient as you need it to be. And he's missed some shots tonight for some big opportunities, but they're still in this football game.
Spins out here. He'll go back. Jamarius Brown. Will Eccles collapse the pocket. A loss of 9 on the sack.
Yeah, look, they just turned Jamarius Brown loose in the middle of the formation. You're going to see it right here. He's just going to rush. Left guard just never has a chance. Nick Sharp to get a hand on him. When you get pressure in the face of the quarterback in under 2.5 seconds, in that case almost instantaneously, he has no shot. They've got to be better than that.
Three-man rush. Catch made. Nick Harbor. Bottled up along the sideline. He nearly shook free, but he picks up 11 and at least brings them back to a third down that might be manageable enough. Third down and 8.
And here comes the speed on the field for Ole Miss's defense. Deshaun Womack on the field, Centurion Perkins on the field, Prince Will Uman-Mielen. All the thoroughbreds. Andrew Jones, 44, the linebacker, who had a great play earlier on in the first quarter. All on the field, trying to track down Lenora Sellers.
Sellers out of the pocket. Delayed blitz, brings him down all the way back at the 16. Sontarian Perkins had 10.5 sacks last season. That's his first this year on the delayed blitz.
They only rush 2 guys, and they have a double spy situation with Sontarian Perkins and Andrew Jones. Watch, they're just keeping eyes on the quarterback. And then when he declares, we go. And we hunt him down. That's Pete Golding. That's a nice defensive scheme right there. Just keeping eyes on the most dangerous guy on the offense, and they come up with a big stop.
Fourth quarter coming up.
Back to Oxford. Lane Kiffin, your defense did its job. What do you need on this next drive from your offense to create some separation?
Yeah, we're going to have to be consistent. Obviously, they've come out after 170 yards rushing and stopped the run and man-to-man. So we're going to have to win outside, and Trinidad's going to have to play better here in this. But our defense, the spies, are working well on Norris, and we gave the one big play. So we need to go score and put this game in 2 scores.
Thank you, Coach.
Sontarian Perkins was one of those spies, and he eventually tracked down Linares Sellers. A sack to end the third. Wobbly short kick to start the fourth quarter from Mason Love. Takes a sideways hop out of bounds, barely across the 50-yard line. So it'll be really good field position for Ole Miss at their own 46 as we check in with Matt Barrett. Oklahoma can win that game on the road, they are back in the conversation as well. And when you only have 2 losses in this league, you are very much in the conversation, if not potentially in the college football playoff. Ole Miss near midfield. Still a 1-score game. Empty backfield for Trinidad Chambliss. Blitz coming. Finds the crosser. Daquan right. Catch and run. The tight end tripped up. He thought house call for a moment there. And it might have been Fred J.R. Johnson that saved the touchdown. And now Bakari Swain is down for South Carolina.
That is a great play call against anticipated man-to-man coverage. A sort of mesh concept, meaning they're just running shallow crossers, trying to get the man-to-man guys to pick one another off.
So we'll step aside while the trainers inspect Bakari Swain. Game day started the day at Utah, and Brennan Sorsby and Cincinnati will finish it as they take on the Utes coming up next here on ESPN. That's basically a playoff game between those 2 teams. You are watching the SEC on ESPN. Bob Wischusen, Lewis Riddick, Chris Budden. It's a first down in plus territory for Ole Miss. They've got a 1-score lead, and Lane Kiffin challenged Trinidad Chambliss to play better and make this a 2-score game. Tight window, and he squeezes it into Caden Lee. It's amazing Trinidad Chambliss is here, isn't it? A Division II quarterback from Ferris State. Charlie Weiss Jr. saw his tape, basically saw on Twitter that this great Division II national champion quarterback was in the transfer portal and created a watch party with Lane Kiffin involved as well. Everyone gathered around the computer watching his film. And by the time they were done watching his film, Lane Kiffin said, put that guy on a plane and get him here.
Sometimes you get lucky.
And here he is on the move. Out of bounds in the red zone. And again, Austin Simmons began the season as the starter but got hurt. Trinidad Chambliss takes over, and ever since week 3, he's been arguably the best quarterback in America. It was Mike Farrell, who certainly has his finger on the pulse of what's going on in the transfer portal. Trending. Top D2 quarterback enters the portal, already has some FBS offers. Well, Trinidad Chambliss was that quarterback. That certainly drew the attention of Charlie Wise Jr. and Lane Kiffin. He was scheduled to visit Temple, and Lane Kiffin said, no, no, no. He comes here. And now he dives down to the 15-yard line. Gabriel Brownlow-Dindy made the stop.
Trinidad Chambliss saw that goal line. And if it wasn't for Brownlow-Dindy, he may have scored on that play. This is a young man who really has responded to challenges his entire life. He's earned everything he's gotten. And right now, Lane Kiffin putting him to the test and see if he can try and get his football team up 2 scores. Both running and throwing the football, making good decisions.
Time on the play clock to get lined up. Still 5 to get the play off. 3rd down and 4 in the red zone. But Lane Kiffin, taking no chances, spends a timeout.
Ole Miss, their first of the half.
So Lane Kiffin will bring his offense over. And he'll talk over his 3rd down call to Trinidad Chambliss.
College football playoff top 25.
We got brackets to talk about. A lot of movement. Wide open.
The top 25 rankings reveal and 12-team CFP projection. Tuesday on ESPN.
And when those first rankings are revealed, how many SEC teams will be a part of that top 12? Our All-State playoff predictor, has at least 3, if not 4. Who knows, possibly 5 with that win that Texas had over Vanderbilt earlier today.
And Texas finds themselves right back in the thick of it now. Ole Miss obviously needs to win out. They know that they have no margin for error. Here, a key 3rd down.
Want to run for it. They'll pitch it to Lacey. He's got nowhere to go. Another red zone stop for the South Carolina defense. Lewis, they are doing about as much as they can against this Ole Miss high-powered offense to keep their team in the game, as DQ Smith read that play and made the stop.
And DQ Smith and Dylan Stewart with just fantastic athletic ability, really making Trinidad Chambliss pitch the ball, and then he's able to get in on the tackle as well. I'm surprised they didn't put the ball in the air there. And try and get some one-on-one matchups to see if maybe they could get Daquan Wright, the fantastic tight end, open. This is a win for South Carolina if they can hold them here to 3.
Arnero from 33. Right down the middle. So it's back to a 2-score lead. And next Saturday, 2 SEC games on ABC and the all-new ESPN app at 3:30 Eastern. Texas A&M will take on Mizzou. And then at 7:30, Alabama will host LSU. With all of these high-profile firings, talk about a guy that has created a turnaround after a previous high-profile firing in College Station. That's Mike Elko, 8-0 this season.
And he has got that football team absolutely rolling. Couldn't happen to a better man and a nicer guy than Mike Elko. We got a chance to talk to him last year when they took on Auburn down in Auburn and lost a heartbreaker there in multiple overtimes. The SEC, man, it is tight now. I mean, parity just reigns supreme overall in college football. You just never know. These guys play it all the way down to the wire. And even here in this game right here, Bob, I mean, that's a win for South Carolina because now they're still just a touchdown and a field goal instead of being maybe 2 touchdowns down. They still got hope, but they have got to be able to strike and put together some consistency on offense, which has just been hard for them to do.
Arnero. Returnable. Well, Holman brings it out. It spins out across the 25-yard line. Well, Ole Miss defense, they've been impactful.
They sure have. They have employed a lot of different schemes here. A lot of them, though, involve keeping good eyes on Lenora Sellers and just being able to use spies and then track him down with their speed. Here's a perfect example of it. They only rush with 2, and then they have double spies, and you see Centurion Perkins. Once Lenoris breaks the pocket, they just track him down. And you see here, sacked 3 times, hit 3 times, pressured 3 times, which almost seems low in this football game. It just feels like he's been under duress even more. He's going to have to come up big right now.
Flags down.
False start. Offense, number 78. 5-yard penalty. It's still first down.
Now, Lewis, what does it say to you about Lenora Sellers, but also about the supporting cast, that Ole Miss has 2 spies? But they're that worried about Lenora Sellers, they're assigning 2 guys to spy him. But that also means they feel like they can play the rest of the South Carolina offense with 9 guys.
Yeah, look, I mean, Lane Kiffin was very straightforward with it. He said, look, they have 2 guys that can wreck games. They have Dylan Stewart, they have Lenora Sellers. So we have to make sure we give them all the attention they deserve. And that's what you're seeing play out tonight.
Sellers, slant, pulled in, and avoiding the contact. And submarining Brian Rowe Jr. to pick up 11 yards to make it 2nd down and 4.
And that's one of those fantastic freshmen that they have got to find a way to develop and get them going here in the last quarter of this season. He's got tremendous physical skills at 6 foot, 170 pounds, super quick, tough, can run every route.
Up the middle goes Faison. He's got a first down. Sage Ryan made the stop. Speaking of which, Rasul Faison, he turned 25 in February. He and Oscar Attaway are both in their 7th year of college football, which means Brian Rowe Jr. was 11 when Rasul Faison began his college career. You get 18-year-olds out there playing with 25-year-olds.
It's amazing what the transfer portal and today's college rules as far as eligibility are concerned, what it can do, the disparity that you can have. If you see Prince Will Umanmielen down on the field.
Umanmielen in obvious discomfort. He made the stop, and he stayed down, so we'll step aside.
What a night, Saj. Weather doesn't get better than this. Uh-oh, Sting. Things starting to fly out the hand a little bit. Arm feels good. Elevation feels nice.
I know it does.
Said the ball might be traveling well tonight.
Brennan Sorsby sounds excited to be in the thin air in Utah, Salt Lake, getting ready to take on the Utes. Second down and 5. After the injury timeout. Well, blitz might be coming off the edge. And Lenora Sellers and Faison both saw it. Let's see the adjustment. Faison spins. About 2 yards short of the first down.
So that's a nice job of using the cadence to kind of get the defense to declare. They saw the blitz that was potentially coming off the slot. The defense understands it, so they check out of it. They just play a little bit of a cover 2 type of look. South Carolina decides to run the football against a light box. That's the back and forth, cat and mouse. You move, I move. That you got to love about football.
Third down and 2. Faison through contact. Oh, he got hammered right about at the line of scrimmage, maybe at the 50-yard line, needed another yard and ran through that contact to get it.
He ran through Sage Ryan, the safety. You're going to see him coming downhill, just to Phil right in the middle. He's just one-on-one. He doesn't wrap up, stops his legs. Faison runs right through the tackle. That's great up on the part of Faison. And as a safety, Sage Ryan, you got to know who you're dealing with. Faison goes 220 pounds. You're going to have to wrap him up and drive your legs in order to complete that tackle.
Play action. Sellers looking downfield. Nowhere to go with the football. Coverage sack. And Cam Franklin eventually got him down.
He wants to get the crosser coming across the middle of the field, but you're going to see Andrew Jones, the linebacker, drift right back into the throwing window and close it off. He thought maybe he was going to see if he could get the big shot over the top to Nick Harper. Then he looked for the crosser. Andrew Jones in the way. Great team defense, Ole Miss.
Fourth sack for the Rebels. Lenora Sellers, swing pass right flat. That draws them a bit closer. Brian Rowe Jr. out of bounds. Let's check in with Chris.
Shane Beamer knows he needs to come away with points on this drive, whether it's a touchdown or a field goal. It's been very windy down here. He just picked up a piece of grass, dropped it in the air. The wind has died down a bit, but you can see it kind of going through his brain. What do we need out of this drive?
For the fifth-year senior, William Joyce, they need closer than where they are now to even think field goal. This is a big third down. Lenora Sellers pulls it, and he'll run for it. That's a huge third down conversion for the Gamecocks. Under 8 minutes to go. Again, the place kicker for South Carolina, Lewis, a preferred walk-on who's been on the team, hadn't attempted a kick for the 4 years that he was on the team before this year. But he stayed, didn't transfer, did William Joyce, getting a chance to live out his dream, play for the Gamecocks. But his career long is 49 yards.
Yeah, they know right now they got to make it as easy as possible on him. If field goal is the choice they make on this drive, but you know they're thinking touchdown. They got to find a way to score here now.
To the 30-yard line on the dive is Faison. And the time continues to tick down. When you need 2 scores, is that sense of urgency at this point necessary for South Carolina? They keep huddling up and taking time off the play clock.
No doubt. They have to get some chunks here. They have got to push this ball down the field. As you said it, they need 2 possessions. What's the likelihood of recovering an onside kick? Not very high. You've got to get some chunk yardage here. You've got to get this ball to Nick Harper at some point. He's been the guy who's made the plays down the field.
Pump fake, Sellers. Spins back to midfield just about. Now he'll go down for the 5th time tonight. He's the 2nd most sacked quarterback in college football. And Ole Miss has him 5 times. Suntarian Perkins and T.J. Daugherty were there.
You're going to get a blitz here, and you're going to get a spy here. And they're just keeping eyes on Lenora Sellers. You see Daugherty come in and just kind of flush him and make him start to look for some way to try to escape. Look, we said they're trying to get chunk plays, and they were trying to hit Nick Harper downfield, but Ole Miss knows, look, number 8 is their big play guy down the field. They got to draw something up to help him get open. They got to scheme him open.
3-man rush. Sellers, bullets wanted to traffic incomplete. And I don't know what you do now. You need 2 scores. There's 6 minutes to go. You are not in field goal range, and yet on 4th down and 17, what are your hopes of gaining this? It's a low percentage decision no matter what Shane Beamer picks.
They're obviously going to go for it here, I think, on 4th and long. Just don't like the route design, like how they're trying to help these guys get open in these long yardage situations. It's like boom or bust. It's either Nick Harper can only run a go route or a post route, or it's nothing. And that just plays right into Ole Miss's hands. Those are easy to defend.
4th and 17. Another sack. Deshaun Womack. Lenora Sellers had no chance.
And you're going to see him here going against Babalade. He's just going to come up and come inside. And Babalade basically doesn't even touch it. kind of plays too far upfield for the high side speed rush. And some of the deficiencies and the issues on this offensive line is coming home to roost right now. The pass rushers for Ole Miss just becoming more and more confident that they can win their one-on-ones.
It's 4th and 17. Takes a long time for your receivers to run all the way downfield to get past the sticks. And he just had no chance to allow anything to develop. Season high 6 sacks for the Rebels defense.
But when you go back and watch the tape of this game, even in these shot plays down the field, a lot of them are all or nothing. That's not to say that Linares hasn't missed a few.
Kewan Lacey busts it. Kewan Lacey on his feet to the 5 and into the end zone. Touchdown.
That's just a beautiful run by a guy we've talked about since the opening kickoff, Kewan Lacey. One-on-one in the hole. He makes Sean Murphy miss, and then he is out the gate.
His 13th rushing touchdown of the season, #1 in the SEC, and he came into tonight #2 in the country. The longest run for the Rebels this year, 54 yards. Kewan Lacey, a house call.
It's Kewan Lacey right here against Sean Murphy. And just watch. It's just basically one-on-one. The hole's going to open extra wide, and it's basically you versus me, and you barely get a hand on me. The safety DQ Smith takes a poor angle. You can't take a poor angle against Kewan Lacey. He has got home run speed. It's just a feet in the hole. Look at how quick the move is, and he gains momentum even as he is putting the move on. He doesn't lose any speed whatsoever. I'll tell you what, this young sophomore has got a ton of talent because he is a 3-down player. He can run inside the tackles, outside the tackles. He can pass protect.
Did Lane Kiffin toss the alley-oop?
And he can dunk.
Well, Kewan Lacey came into tonight having forced 62 missed tackles this season. #1 in America. I mean, it feels like he's forced about 60 more tonight.
He's just so good. He's so good. The total package. He's just getting started. True sophomore out of Dallas, Texas.
#163 yards rushing for Kewan Lacey. And let's check in with Matt Barry. That's a great quarterback matchup in that game. That's a pseudo playoff game. It feels like a pseudo playoff game between Oklahoma and Tennessee, and Ole Miss is getting their job done tonight. Incomplete, thrown behind Brian Rowe Jr. So Devin Dampier and Brennan Sorsby. A lot of pressure on both of these young men tonight.
Absolutely, but there's just been some fantastic quarterback play throughout the country this football season. You've seen a lot of dual threat capabilities. You see some guys had some off nights as well, as you're seeing here tonight. Again, you're seeing Linares Sellers here late in this football game. He's struggling a little. You've seen Trinidad Chambliss. He's had some fantastic throws, some fantastic runs. He's missed a few.
Sellers on the move and throws it away.
It's just nothing is timing up right. Linares is just not seeing it as clear. His drops are not matching up for when these routes declare. It's just been a struggle all night long. It's been, like I said numerous times, it's been boom or bust, and you can see the look on Shane Beamer's face. He's feeling that frustration.
And there's just no let up in this league. And next week, South Carolina goes to Texas A&M, the #3 team in the country. Back-to-back road games against top 7 teams. Sellers steps up in the pocket, nowhere to go. Breaking tackles, now floats one down the sideline, intercepted. Suntarian Perkins. He doesn't need to get sacks, and he's dropping back in coverage and picking balls off, and he just did.
This has been the story of South Carolina's season. Just poor offensive line play and inability to protect the quarterback to where he can really see how things are. Just watch, it all happens right here from the beginning. Will Eccles against Boaz Stanley. He has no shot. He just clubs him and swims him, and from there, Linares is just running for his life. Just trying to stay on the ground, keep his eyes down the field. And then he just throws the ball up in the air. Too short. Doesn't put enough air under it. And another interception. But it all starts up front with the protection. The quarterback's under duress immediately, and everything's just going to roll downhill from there.
It was a party in the student section as Suntarian Perkins visited. A bunch of his teammates did as well. And then the officials threw a couple of flags. So this will be a celebration penalty. But it was well after the play was over, obviously. So it'll still be Ole Miss ball with 5:21 to go.
I think Lane Kiffin will more than accept that. I don't think he's sweating that in the least. His football team has responded here in the second half. And Pete Golding, defensive coordinator, give him credit. He's come up with a nice plan to try and continue to have Linares Sellers really frustrated, unable to find any kind of rhythm. And his secondary, for the most part, minus the one big shot over the top, has played pretty good today.
Jerry McGinnis, our officiating expert. Jerry, these guys are writing a lot in the book.
Well, they are. They have to, because almost half the team went down into the end zone. Someone went into the stands, and this is all unsportsmanlike conduct fouls individually. So if anyone had already had one during the game, they would be
after the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, intercepting team, number 4, number 7, number 29, and number 20. That's a 15-yard penalty. It's first down, Ole Miss. That is the first unsportsmanlike foul for each player.
Well, luckily for Ole Miss, it's only one 15-yard foul. They don't get 60 yards in penalties.
Look, you've got social media people. It looks like down there, photographers filming the party that's going on here. Again,
how much fun are these fans having right now with this team?
These kids are under so much stress. I mean, college football is just so high pressure right now. As you see defensive coordinator Pete Golding is just breathing a sigh of relief as to how his defense has played. When we talked to him yesterday, you could see the frustration on his face as far as the lack of communication and continuity he's had in the back end with his secondary, his back 7 in particular. They played pretty well tonight.
Ewan Lacey again, flag down.
Holding, offense, number 50, 10-yard penalty. It's still first down.
Well, Chris, the crowd, the fans, the players are having fun. How much fun do you think the head coach is having?
Yeah, he certainly, we talked with him yesterday just about enjoying the game and enjoying being here at Ole Miss. And you've talked about how, you know, maybe you don't mess with happiness, but one of the other things that he talked about with us was the fact that his whole family's here, that Knox Kiffin, his son, now lives here and is the starting quarterback as of this past Thursday at Oxford High School. He spent 12 years with Knox living in California, and those years that he missed. In fact, Thursday, they were playing playing in Jackson. He was able to get there by the second quarter. It was Knox's first start. The only problem was Knox did so well that by the time Lane got there in the second quarter, they were up so big that Knox had already been pulled. But you really get a sense of what this place has meant in having now his entire family here in Oxford.
Right. To hear him talk about the facts as Trinidad Chambliss takes off and gets pulled down. But the fact that he spent 12 years basically, and 12 years you don't get back when your kids are little.
Yeah.
Without being around his son Knox. Now he's here. One of his daughters is here as well. One of his daughters also out at USC as a college student, but his ex-wife has made a home here as well, so the family can all be together. And I don't know. I mean, you think with all this success and the atmosphere here and Ole Miss basically giving Lane Kiffin everything he wants, Lewis, that he actually would entertain leaving if he was offered one of those other jobs?
Yeah, there's no way of knowing. Only Lane knows exactly what he wants, but there is a tremendous sense of peace that emanates from him when he talks now. It's really cool to see.
Chambliss down the sideline, gets a first down. And the success that he has had since arriving on 11-win season, the most in school history a couple of years ago. Barely missed the college football playoff last season, and now about to be 8-1 to start off this season. And very much a favorite to be in the playoff.
Yeah, he's a guy who can coach football. It's as simple as that. He can coach football, he can recruit talent, he can develop talent, he can manage game situations. He has changed, he has grown and developed and matured as a man, as an individual himself. I mean, you just like talking to him. I love being around him. I love it every single time we come down here and we get to speak with him.
Chambliss bobbles the snap and then dives ahead for about 3, Chris.
That growth part's interesting because I covered him in Knoxville and was there the night that he decided to leave to USC. And he told me yesterday, I had to go. I didn't think that I could sit there and watch USC play on television, knowing that that was my opportunity. Years and years later now, I have a completely different perspective, and it's not about the money, and it's not necessarily about the bigger, better job. I did that then. I'm a much different person than I am today.
And little did he know that when he arrived at USC, he would walk into sanctions.
Yeah.
Because that, of course, was the Reggie Bush Heisman revocation, which is amazing now in the world of college football. I mean, everything that Reggie Bush was accused of doing, he'd be allowed to do times 10.
And he'd be celebrated
in today's world
now.
Please reset the game clock to 2:40.
Now, having said that, there will be offers, you would think, certainly at least phone calls made to Lane Kiffin to see if maybe these last 2 jobs on the list would be something that would lure him away.
Well, I think what we all work for in our chosen profession, and what coaches work for in particular, is the power to have a choice, to have choices and be able to name your spot and name your price. Lane Kiffin can pick his spot and pick his price, no matter where it is, because he is the hottest thing going right now. And he has worked his way into that position, and his story, it's fascinating. It really is. Like I said, there isn't a more fascinating guy to sit down and talk to. We could have talked to him for hours yesterday. Yep. I bet he would have sat there. Maybe he wouldn't have done that years ago, but he'd do it now.
Well, it's interesting you say that, because I asked him, the 35-year-old Lane Kiffin and the 50-year-old Lane Kiffin are different how? He said, yeah, the 35-year-old Lane Kiffin probably would be gone, but the 50-year-old Lane Kiffin, because he has that perspective and also realizes how great this place is and the foundation and the success that he's built here and that he can build upon here. And that's the point I think that the Ole Miss folks are making as well.
Yep.
You know, don't sell our job short.
Please reset the game clock to 2:35.
And to that point, I mean, in the atmosphere that you experience when you come to Oxford, this is a pretty attractive place, I would think, to be a coach on its own right.
It sure is. Look, he can pretty much write his own ticket here. I mean, he can tell them whatever he needs. They're going to be like, yep, what else do you need? Yep, you want to knock that wall down? Yeah. You want to knock that building down, put something else there? Yep, you can get that. You want this player? We'll go get that player for you. He can name he can do everything that he wants to do here as far as picking the kind of things that he needs in order to build this program up. But for him, I mean, look, there's no way of knowing, you know, internally what it is that he's looking for at this point in time, specifically in terms of weighing this place with any place else. But I would say if I'm Ole Miss, look, I'm doing everything I possibly can, and I'm sure they are, to make sure that he doesn't leave out of here, because he's a fantastic coach. He really resonates with today's players. He adjusts his offensive schemes for quarterbacks as well as anyone. And they're gonna be a tough out in this college football playoff season.
Chambliss on the move. Trying to make a man miss, and now stumbles and goes down. Yet to that point, like Trinidad Chambliss is different than Austin Simmons, different than Jackson Dart. And yet, it's amazing how quickly he has been able to accentuate what Trinidad Chambliss does well in their scheme.
He sure has. Look at him, along with Charlie Weiss Jr., the offensive coordinator. They do a great job. They really do a great job of, heck, Charlie Weiss Jr. was sitting there and saw on Twitter that Trinidad Chambliss was taking some visits and was in the transfer portal. So I think they all work very well together. And right now, they're up 30-14 against South Carolina.
Time now for the final 2 minutes, delivered by Factor.
2 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Ole Miss will punt it away. So one last chance with the football for South Carolina. They are out of timeouts. Bakari Swain will let this bounce. And it will roll dead at about the 26-yard line. And Lewis, we always like to revisit the keys to victory, see how they played out. And you were pretty prophetic for this game.
Offensively, look, neutralized Dylan Stewart and Brian Thomas Jr. 2 tackles for Stewart, 3 for Brian Thomas. I think that's pretty good. Defensively, limit the yards after contact for South Carolina. Kewan Lacey went off tonight, 167 yards, numerous times making defenders miss in the hole. I mean, he was just a menace for them. And they had 77 yards after the catch. The Ole Miss pass catchers did. They just didn't get it done there. Offensively for South Carolina, spread the field and let Lenore Sellers cook. He only had a couple shots down the field that really connected. He missed on some open wide receivers, sacked 6 times. It just wasn't a good night. And then when you're talking about Ole Miss's defense, communication, no coverage busts. Besides the long pass over the top, they played pretty well. 197 total yards to this point. So I think if you're Pete Golding, the defensive coordinator, you're happy about the way this went. As far as this individual performance here tonight, let's see if they can build on it from here going forward.
And that trend of not gaining 350 yards in a game is going to continue for South Carolina, as Pete Golding's defense for Ole Miss has held the Gamecocks at this point to only 197 yards of offense. So they will continue to be the only team in the country that hasn't gotten to 350 yards in a game. I mean, contrast that with Trinidad Chambliss, who coming into tonight had 4 games like that by himself. And last year he was playing Division II football. And now he's doing it in the SEC. Sellers still fighting, still competing, and on 3rd down, throws that one out of bounds near Oscar Attaway. It will be 4th down and 2.
I mean, sometimes when you're watching games on TV and you look at the quarterback and you don't really see how the routes look down the field, you think, why isn't the quarterback getting rid of the ball? Why can't he just find an open receiver? And the only things you see then are when he does miss an open wide receiver. But if you're watching this from our perspective and you just watch that last play, there was nobody open and receivers were stacked on top of one another and he had nowhere to go with the football. It's a total offensive fail that has happened with South Carolina this year.
There's a crossing route for Brian Rowe. And he's got a 1st down, a 4th down conversion with 1:10 to go.
And the thing is, like, offensively, all these great freshman wide receivers that when we saw them opening weekend, that I myself was very high on, thinking, man, if they can develop some of these young guys like Brian Rowe, like Malik Clark, Jaden Sellers himself, he's injured in this football game. Lenoris' brother has started to come on. If they can get those guys going along with Nick Harbor, they're on to something here. Well, they haven't gotten them going. And then the offensive line had all the injuries and started breaking down the different line combinations. It just has been a mess for them this year, an absolute mess. After having so much optimism coming into this year based on how 2024 had ended.
And last season, they won their last 6 regular season games, finished the season number 19 in the poll. And this year they were preseason number 13, their highest preseason ranking since 2014. Sellers, jump ball, end zone. Intercepted? Yes, it is. Wydett Williams. One final takeaway for the Ole Miss defense. So Ole Miss can go to victory formation at this point. And by the way, next week, huge game in the Big 12 between BYU and Texas Tech. And the announcement has been made. Game day is headed to Lubbock. So next Saturday, 9 a.m. Eastern, which means all the way out in West Texas, it'll be just like Utah today. They'll be partying in the dark when they come on the air for that one. But BYU Texas Tech will be the site of game day in Lubbock next week.
How about Kalani Sitake out there at BYU? He always has that football team competitive, always in the conversation. It's nice to see those two programs going to get some shine on national TV. Big time game, big time matchup. And it's a Shane Beamer and Lane Kiffin. It's just a picture of two different mental states right now. Shane Beamer just looks so frustrated. And Lane Kiffin, now it's on to the next football game. It's on to the Citadel.
And then they'll close the season with Florida and the Egg Bowl. So if they need to run the table through the last 4 games, step 1 is complete. And they are 8-1 for the 3rd time in the last 4 years, all the way back to 1990, the last time they were 8-1. For Louis Riddick and Chris Button, I'm Bob Wischusen. Thanks so much for watching. A dominant performance, especially in the second half for Ole Miss. So long from Oxford.
Thank you for watching this presentation of the Southeastern Conference on ESPN.
The passing game.